Hello, my geometry students. It's Mr. Knight. This is your 3.1 video. We're looking at identifying pairs of lines and angles. So we have a lot of vocabulary words to get through, so let's get through that. So I'm going to slide this up a little bit. All right, so the first one right here, two lines are parallel lines if they do not intersect and are coplanar. So the key is do not intersect and are coplanar. They're parallel. The next one right here, two lines are skew lines. Skew lines if they do not intersect and are not coplanar. Okay. And then we'll see examples of that shortly. Two lines that do not intersect are parallel planes. I'm sorry, two planes that do not intersect are parallel planes. All right, we'll see an example of that also. And then a transversal is a line that intersects two or more coplanar lines at different points. So if I have three lines, okay, and then I have a transversal that intersects those three lines at different points. So my line 1 is my transversal. And then 2, line 3, line 4, those are my just individual lines that are coplanar. So line 1, my purple one there, is my transversal line. All right. So then I'm going to, give me a second right here. Let me lock this into place. Let's locking into place. Okay. So give me blue. All right. So now where am I at? When two lines are cut by transversal, two angles. Okay. So I'm right here. When two lines are cut by a transversal, like I have on the left over there, two angles are corresponding angles if they have corresponding positions. So that and that and that would be corresponding angles. Or I could look at this, this, and this would be corresponding. Or I could look at this, this, this is corresponding. Or obviously the bottom angle there on the right. And it's kind of like if you would picture to cut this and then move this piece up, you would see that that angle and that angle correspond to each other and so forth. So now let's look at the next one. When two lines are cut by a transversal, two angles are alternate interior angles. So I'm going to use my black. Alternate interior would be alternate means on both sides of my transversal. Interior would be when you look at your two lines, and I look at my transversal, exterior would be above one of my lines, and it would also be exterior would be below the other line, and therefore everything that is in between my two lines is what we call the interior. Okay, so I am looking at the alternate on both sides of the transversal, interior, which means it's in between the two lines, angles. So this angle right here, that angle is alternate interior, okay? It could also be alternate interior, and so forth. So now I am down to the exterior one. So when two lines are cut by a transversal, two angles are alternate exterior angles. Let's see if I can't erase something here without getting, yeah, there we go, that right. So now we're looking at alternate exterior, all right? So give me a blue. Alternate exterior would be alternate on both sides of my transversal. Exterior means it's on opposite sides down here of my two lines. So if I look at, that would be alternate exterior. This would be alternate exterior. And then you could use this, those two lines as alternate exterior, and those two angles as alternate exterior, so forth. Okay, so now we're down to this point right here. It says when two lines are cut by a transversal, two angles are consecutive interior angles. All right, consecutive interior would be this angle and that angle. Interior means it's in between my two lines. Or it could be this and that, consecutive meaning on the same side as the transversal. That would be the consecutive part. And then interior would be on the inside of my two lines. So there's my consecutive angles, that one and that one, those, and then you might have those. And that doesn't mean congruent. I'm just trying to show you that what goes to what. All right, so now we're looking at postulate 13, parallel postulate. If there's a line and a point not on the line, then there's exactly one line that runs through the point parallel to the given line. So let me erase something right here. Give myself some room. And so basically, it says that if you have if you have a line, and I have a point that is not on my given line, there's a line that runs through that point that is parallel to my given line. All All right, that's postulate 13. Postulate 14 is the perpendicular piece, and that's just saying if I'm given, I have a given line and I have a point that's not on that line, then there's a line that runs through my point that is perpendicular to my given line. That's all that postulate 14 says. So let's move on. All right, so now identify relationships in space. So if I look at A, parallel to AB, so AB is right there. CD, excuse me, CD is parallel to AB. Then if I look at B, skewed to AB, so if that's AB, I only have two lines that are skewed. That would be ED and EC. ED and EC are skewed to AB. And then if I look at the last one, parallel to BC, BC, well, AD or DA, however you want to say it, is parallel to BC. Yep, there's AD parallel to BC. Now if we move on, I think these are yours. Yes, you have 1 through 8, so if you would pause the video. Once you get answers for 1 through 8, start the video back up and we'll check our answers. Alright, so let's check our answers real quick. So if I look at number 1, DE and CF are skewed. Alright, DE and CF, DE, CF are skewed. And then look at number 2, AD, BE, and CF are all parallel. And then number 3, plane ABC and plane DEF are parallel. That would be the ends of your triangular prism. And then if I look at 4, BE, AB are perpendicular. BE and AB are perpendicular. So that angle right there is perpendicular. So if I look at number 5, name, and we have a different figure here, name a line perpendicular to HD. Well, I got several of them. I've got AD, EH, DC, HG. So those are lines parallel or perpendicular to HD. All right. And then number 6, name a plane parallel to plane DCF, H. So plane ABE, let's see, ABE, okay, would be parallel to DCH. So you have DC and this plane right here, and this would be parallel, okay? And then if I look at number 7, name a line parallel to BC. BC would be right here, so you would have FG, that's parallel. And then if I look at number 8, name a line skewed to FG. So I've got several of them. You've got AE, you've got DH, AE, DH, AD, DC, and AB. All those lines are skewed to FG. All right, so let's move on. So now I have identify angle relationships here. So now we're looking at corresponding, alternate, and consecutive. So if I look at A, corresponding, A would be corresponding would be 1 and 3. It would also be 2 and 4. It would be 8 and 6, and then 7 and 5. And if I look at my answers, 1 and 3, 2 and 4, 8 and 6, 7 and 5, got those. All right, if I look at B, alternate interior, let me erase this real quick. I can't see. Okay, blue. All right, so if I look at B, alternate interior, so remember alternate is on both sides of my transversal. Interior would be in between my two lines, so I'm looking at 2 and 6, and I'm looking at 7 and 3. All right, so 2 and 6, 7 and 3. Then if I look at, actually let me erase this again, and we'll go with red this time. So if I'm looking at C, alternate exterior, alternate being both sides of your transversal, exterior would be on the outsides of your two lines. So 1 and 5. 1 and 5 would be alternate exterior. 4 and 8 would be alternate exterior. I'm sorry, 8 and 4, excuse me, or 4 and 8, either way. So that takes care of those two. And then if I look at the last one, consecutive interior, so let me erase this real quick. All right, come on, there you go. Need an eraser. Need an eraser. Okay, and then we'll do black this time. So I have consecutive interior. So you have 2 and 3 consecutive interior, or you have 7 and 6 as consecutive interior. All right, so that takes care of those. Let's move on. I bet these are yours. Yes, they are, 9 through 12. So these are yours. So pause the video, run through these real quick, start the video back up, and we'll check our answers. All right, so let's check our answers real quick. So number 9 says angle 3 and angle 5. So if I look at angle 3 and angle 5, I notice that they're alternate and they're interior. So it's alternate interior angles. So AI and the angle symbol, alternate interior. If I look at number 10, I'm looking at 2 and 6. 2 and 6 looks like corresponding angles. If I were to cut this in half and then slide this up, I would notice it's in the same position. And then if I look at number 11, angle 1 and angle 7 are alternate. Angle 1 and angle 7. they're on both sides of the transversal. That means alternate. They're exterior. Are on the outsides of my two lines, therefore they're alternate exterior angles. And then number 12, angle 4 and 5, 4 and 5, so this would be consecutive interior angles. CI is consecutive interior, alternate exterior, corresponding, and then alternate interior. All right, so that takes care of that, and I do believe that that is the last video. Yes, that is the last video for 3.2. So anyway, oh, did I go too far? Yeah, I did. It's playing with me there. All right, so that's the last page. So have a beautiful day, and we'll look at 3.2 tomorrow. Okay.